G'day guys and girls, my name is John Michaloudis from myexcelonline.com and it's great to be here at Excel Weekend number 7. This is my first time that I'm here, so thank you to Cristiano and the team for inviting me, and it's great to be here and it's great to be teaching you my Excel tips. So my name is John Michaloudis. I'm the founder and I'm the MVP as well, Excel MVP. So I'm the founder of myexcelonline.com, as you can see here, and we've been running for over 7 years now. And you can have a look after our presentation on our website. We have over 500 free Excel tutorials. We have an online academy. We also have books and consulting and lots of other great stuff. Now today we're going to talk about my top 10 tips of all time. As you can see here, we just released a new book, our third book. It's called 101 Best Excel Tips and Tricks. And these tips are inside this book here. So I took out 10 of the best tips and I'm going to explain to you how to do each of these tips. Now, you can buy this paperback book. You can go to myexcelonline.com/Amazon and get this book. It's a paperback, so you can get it delivered. It's a great book. You're gonna really enjoy it. At the moment we have over 50 5-star reviews, and we released it 2 months ago, so it's a great book there. Okay, now let's get straight into it. So here we are, the 10 tips, 1 to 10. Let's start PDF to Excel. Okay, so here we are. So new in Office 365 or Microsoft 365, as I like to change the name again, it is, you can import data from PDF to Excel. Previously, you have to copy paste or use another add-in to do that. So with this new update, with this new version, you can actually do it. If you go to data, and let me know if you can't see my screen, I can make it bigger. If you go to data, and then get data, this is a get and transform area. This is where Power Query sits, okay? Once again, when it first came in 2010, it was called Power Query, and now it's called get and transform. So when people talk about Power Query, they talk about this area here, get and transform. So you got to get data from file. You can get it from anywhere. This is another course, Power Query. Database, a lot of stuff. There's just so many things here. So, we're going to get it from the PDF. All right, so here I have a PDF file that I prepared earlier, okay, just to make it easier for you. Now, this dialog box comes up here, okay. This is, we're using Power Query at the moment, or get and transform. And then you've got options here. So you've got table 1, and it shows what's in the PDF, as you can see here. You can scroll down. This is what's in my PDF, okay. And then if we're happy with this, don't worry about this one here. They have 2 options. We're just going to use this table option here, okay. So click on that. We're happy. This is our data. Press load and then see what happens. So you put it to a new sheet here, as you can see here, table 001, and you put in the data from our PDF straight into there. So that is just awesome. So let me just go here and I'll go to the PDF that we had before. This is it here. Okay, so data from the PDF. Okay. And all I did is did that trick and then put it in here. So now you can do whatever you want with it. You can, obviously delete the first row because, sometimes a formatting issue, but it's pretty perfect. And then you can do summarize and pivot tables. You can do whatever you want. So just like that, it's so easy. So this is available with Office 365, the new versions, the subscription version of Excel. If you don't have this, you'll have to copy paste, in the book we show a macro where you can do this. Or you probably have to buy an add-in to do this. But anyway, this is a cool tip, so I thought I'd share it with you. So let's go on to the next one. And yeah, if you can just get 1 tip out of all these 10 tips, you may know 9 of them. If you get 1 out of this, then I've done my job. And as I said, there's over 100 tips. I'm showing my favorite 10 tips. So tip number 2, fill from 1 to 10,000. What does that mean? So we can put in a row of data from 1 to 10,000. We can do it all day, just like this. and go all the way down, you know, we can do that. Or we can just put our number in here, okay? And then go to home, fill, you see over here under the editing group on the right-hand side, fill, okay? Our buddy fill, and go series. You probably see this, it's, you might need to expand your screen, okay? So this is it here. So this, you fill, press columns in series, okay? And then step value is 1, stop value is 10,000. Press OK, bang. You see what just happened? Automatically, it put in 1 to 10,000. I'm going to press Control and the down arrow, okay? And you see that? 10,000 rows down. So how cool is that? So if you have other ways, there's other ways you can do it, but this is a great way. You can do 100,000, you can do 1,000,000 all the way to the end. Really cool stuff you can do with this. Okay, so that's a cool tip here. And probably many of you don't know, I usually forget about it every couple of years. I'm like, oh, that's right, I forgot about this tip. This is how you do it. So even being an MVP, being an Excel expert, you know, you forget tips. You know, I don't know everything at the, you know, off the top of my memory. You know, I'm not that much of an Excel nerd. You know, people forget or have a life as well. But you can, you know, these are great tips. From time to time, you're like, oh, wow, I forgot about this. That's right. This is how you do it. And these are the steps here you need to go through, okay? And this is, we go through this in the book as well, okay? The step-by-step guide with screenshots as well. Okay, that's tip number 2. Did you like that in the chat box? Did you know about this? Put in 1 if you liked it, 2 if you didn't know about this tip, and 3 if you already knew about this. Okay. The chat area, let me, okay. I just keep on going, and then Mark can have a look at the chat area. Okay, status bar metrics. What are these? So this status bar is at the bottom here, as you can see here, where we have our sheets at the bottom here. If you right click, you see here, average count, numerical count, minimum, it has all these metrics. When I highlight data, have a look what happens at the bottom. As soon as I go on one, you know, there's nothing now. As soon as I click there and highlight more than one cell, it counts it, it gives me the sum, okay? So what I can do, right click, put in the average, minimum, maximum, and you see that? It gives us that. So this is great. So when you have data, you know, you don't have to do the sum. You can just go, what's this? Let's press Control. Let's choose a few cells. What is the sum of this? 233. What's the average? Bang, on the fly. You can do calculations without putting in a formula. So as I said, this here, the status bar, or the white area here below your sheets, right click in there and you have it all there. It's just another world. If you're not using this, you should use it. I'm just going to save you with formulas and all that. And we're here about saving time, you know, saving an hour a day, going home early to your family, to your loved ones. That's what this is all about. That's why we are here, to save you time so you don't work overtime. You know, I used to work overtime, and you can actually leverage Excel to save you a lot of time, and you can go home early for once, okay? So this is what this is about. Worksheet Navigator. Now, I remember when I was working in General Electric, I got a workbook and it had like 100 sheets. It's like, what is this? Why is there so many? It's like, man, dangerous. You know, don't have so many sheets. And I had to like scroll to the end, all the way to number 100 and then go to the back. You can actually have a look here where I am, right click in there. And this here, box comes up and it'll give you all the sheets. I have 10 at the moment. Well, I have more than 10. But you can actually go to the end. You see that? And then if I want to go to the back, right click again. Okay, let's go to here. All right. Many people don't know that. Do you know that tip? Put it in the chat box. I would love to know whether you do use this tip here. If you don't, it's going to save you time. Scrolling to 100, that's like, you know, a second of your life. You can actually get it back. Right clicking in there and choosing anywhere you want to go to, okay? Worksheet Navigator, that is it there. Let's go to the next one. Find blank cells with color. Bang, we're using it. Okay, so when I've got a data set here and it's got blanks. When you're creating a pivot table, best practice is not to have blanks. You can actually create a pivot table, but it's just going to give you an empty cell or an empty field when you're creating a pivot table. And then people get confused. Why is that? So what you need to do because this is only, let me go through this. This is, 100 rows down. So more or less, imagine having like one that goes 100,000 rows down. How are you going to find it? I'll show you how. Control asterisk to highlight everything. Okay. We are happy? Okay. Control G, go to special. I love Control G. This is awesome. Press special. You have so many things you can do here. Okay. We're going to go to blanks. Okay. So you see this, it highlights the blanks. You can see it. You can see it. It's in, in gray form. Yeah. We're happy with that. Let me reduce the thing, the zoom. Okay. So we're happy. It highlights it. So we can go to the home area now, in the home area, and fill that with any color we want. You see how it does it? It fills it in. You're like, hey, I can actually see where my blank cell is. Imagine having one blank cell in 100,000 rows of data. You're going to find it pretty quickly. Okay. Now, next step is let's put in here a filter. Okay. So when you put in a filter, you can go filter by color. Wow. We can actually filter by color. So what are we filtering now? We're filtering the blank cells in this row only, in customer. How cool is that? So now you can just go in there and type in your customer, and just fill it in, whatever you like, okay? Let me just clear this and go back here. Let's go to sales, the same thing. Drop down, filter by color. These are the cells that are empty. Let's put in a value, 10, 1, 2, 3, Control Enter, fill it in there. Perfect. It fills in with 10,000 in those cells. So that is a great way to find blank cells with a color and then fill it in. Did you like this? Let me know in the chat area. All right. Fantastic. Let's go check your math with F9. So this is one of my favorite formula tips. So when you have a formula, as we do here, okay, I'll just go over there. So F2, just to open the formula. And we can actually highlight this area and press F9 on your keyboard. And it gives you the actual sum. So when you're auditing and you're writing a big formula or someone's giving you a formula and you don't know how it works, use that. Use F9. Okay, if I press enter, it's gonna hard code that. So I'm gonna press Control Z to go out of it. And again, count. I'm gonna highlight everything there and press F9, 8. We have 8, we sure do. You see that? Make sure to Control Z. In here, okay, where our formula bar is, we can actually make it bigger. And you can do it from in here as well. I like doing it from in there. F9, yeah, escape. And let's do this, F9. How cool is that? Okay, so that's how you audit your formulas. Another cool tip is when you have like a complex formula, I like to separate it. Just put in the cursor before the divide sign and press Alt and Enter, okay? And then there, Alt and Enter and press Enter. So it still works. The formula still works, as you can see here. It's just made it visibly better because if you have a lot of formulas, you can do that. And I like doing that, especially when you're doing an if formula or a nested if that has 100 different if arguments. Do that. And then you can expand it all the way down and say, okay, that's how you do it. So yeah, that's another cool tip. Alt and Enter. Alt and Enter. All right. Tip number 6. Did you like that? Let us know in the chat. If not, start using it. If you haven't used this before, start using it. This is an awesome tip. Remove duplicates. Okay, so we can just go back to this. So Excel tables, if you don't know what they are the best thing that's been introduced in Excel. So let me just move this out of there. Okay, so this is an Excel table. Now to put in an Excel table, you've got to press Control T. So for example, let's put in a data here. Data and just one, whatever. Highlight this. Control T. Create table. Yes, it is a table. When I go out of this, have a look up here next to help. When I click into it, table design comes up. Okay, you may have an earlier version of Excel. It may say table tools. Either way, they keep on changing it every year. You know, it gets annoying, especially when you're creating courses. Okay, so that's where you know it's a table. All right. When you do this, you have all this stuff here. Like you can change the colors. You know, it's so beautiful. You can do a lot of stuff here. Okay, so this is it here. This is my table here. We know it's a table. I click out of it, click into it, table design. There it is. You don't like that color, let's change it. Okay, remove duplicates. So one thing you have under table design, you have all these options here. Okay, so what we got here is remove duplicates. And another pop-up box will come up and it'll say, okay, you know, which duplicates do you want to select from all the columns? No, let's unselect. I just want to remove duplicates from the customer column. Okay, so I'm just going to press customer and I want to press OK. See what happens. You got here Acme widget, Acme widget, Acme widget. They're all repeated. If I press OK, you see that 16 duplicates values were found and removed. 8 unique items remain. There you go. That's how you remove duplicates using Excel tables. While someone comes into the dungeon, and you probably heard the big door there. So that is remove duplicates. Always use Excel tables, even if you have, you know, 3 rows of data. I love using Excel tables, and I will tell you why. Table row calculations is the next tip. This is the one I love, you know, a lot of people don't know about this. Give me 1 second while I have a drink of the water, and I'll let you know what it is. If you like Excel tables, if you use Excel tables, put in the chat, let us know. Okay, so this is a table. As I said before, we're out of it, nothing comes up, we're in of it, table design comes up. This total row is unchecked. It should always be checked. See what happens? You get a total row. What does that mean? What's a total row? Wow, if you click in here, there's a drop down and you see what happens. Let's make it bigger for you guys. Okay, you've got all these formulas: average, count numbers, max, minimum, more functions. You can do whatever you like. You can go even more functions. So let's count 8 transactions. How cool is that? Let's find out the maximum date here. It puts it in there. Let's find out the sum of this. You see that? You don't have to put in formulas manually. You just, this drop down. You don't see, you get to click in it and it comes up. That's where the fun's at. So this is table design and total row. This is how to activate it, okay? It's inactive, it's active. It comes back in. Let me press, I clicked on here and I press tab. So I just added a new row. I'm gonna highlight this and press Control D. When I press that, you know, 9 gets updated, that gets updated. You don't need to update the formula. It's a structured reference. So the more data you add, you know, it just gets updated automatically. You see that? How cool is that? I press Control D to copy what's above. That's another tip. I use that all the time. So make sure to use total rows. Did you know about this? Probably not. A lot of people don't know about this because they don't use tables. Tables is awesome. When you're creating pivot tables, you should definitely use tables. It just makes it easier. It makes your life easier. Okay, are you happy? We're nearly there. Okay, we're nearly there. I want to go through a lot more, but you know, we won't have an hour. So let's go to the next one. Create data entry form. Okay, so creating a data entry form, you can do it using a form. So we have here first name, last name, gender, birthday, comments. We've just added that in here earlier. And I'm going to highlight it, press Control T, create a table. My table has headers. Click on that all the time. Okay, so this is it here. So now what we need to do, I've got the writing here, okay, the steps so you know how to do it, and you know sometimes I forget. So what we're going to do is go to File and Options, okay, and then Customize Ribbon. In this drop down here, Commands Not in Ribbon, choose that. Click anywhere. Press F, so it goes all the way down, okay? Form, that's what we want, okay? We want to add it in here, but we're not going to add it to the home. We're going to go into a new tab, okay? So we're going to create a new tab. Click on New Group, the form selected, press add. This is it here. It's added in there. And the new tab, I'm going to rename it to whatever I like. Custom form. Okay, press OK. And you'll see it up here. It's going to come up. Okay. So there you go. Custom form. How cool is that? You can actually customize the form to put whatever you like in there. A lot of people don't know about that. Sorry, you can customize your ribbon to put in whatever you like in there. Okay, not just the form, you can do whatever. You know, there's over 100 different commands you can choose from. Form is one of them. So now in the table that we have, we're going to click in here. I'm going to press form and it comes up. Okay, first name, John Michaloudis, male, 1802, 2000. No, put my real date. Comments, Excel, MVP. If I press new, see what happens? It just fills it in. How cool is that? Yeah? Do you like that? Okay. Just fill in. You do whatever you like. In here, birthday, 1st of the 1st. He looks like he was born in the 1800s. No, just joking. You look young, Mark. Okay. Press new. There we are. So that's how you do it. You can go up here and you can actually change. You know, I spelled it wrong. It should be Jono. Press new and it actually updates it. Anything you updated, you got this from, you know, 01/01/2000. Okay, press new. It updates it. That's how you do a form. This is a great way to create a data entry form. Okay, and you can find previous, go to next. We only have, you know, 2 entries here. So this is a great way. If you have data entry, it's a fun way of putting data into Excel. You know, you can actually type it in one by one, but you know, it's boring. So did you know about this or what? Did you like it? This, you know, I've got this on my blog as well, and it's one of the top rated blog views because of this. People don't know how to do it. Not because people are actually searching for this. That's what they're searching how to create a data entry form. And this is how it's done. It's pretty easy. Very, very easy. You can actually customize your ribbon as I did before. You can add whatever you like. You know, go crazy. You're bored at work, do that. You know, that's what I used to do. I never used to do any work when I was in the corporate world. Okay, show report filter pages. The last one. All right, this is the pivot table. I'm just gonna get rid of it. This is the data that we have here. Customers, you know, the customers here, you know, region, order date, and sales. And when this is a table, you're learning about tables, aren't you? Hey, Johnny, that's right, because it's got table designs or table tools if you're using earlier versions of Excel. Let's create a pivot table. Summarize with pivot table, okay? We're not going to go new worksheet. We're going to go to existing worksheet because we want to put it in here, for example. Okay. All right. So it brings it up. So order date and sales, we're going to get order date and, okay. So we're going to get order date in the rows. Okay. And we're going to get sales in the values area. So we've done that. Let me go back here. So in here, it automatically grouped it because you see that the dates, just normal dates, it automatically grouped it. That's another new version that came out in Excel recently. You can actually right click and, you know, ungroup it there. Or if you press group, you see what's the actual grouping is. Days, months, quarters, okay? Sorry, days and months, it's in blue. I'm going to do quarters, yeah? Because I like the quarters, that's the way they are. And in here, you can actually go in number format because the formatting is always just a bit of an issue. Okay, so this is it here. So what I want to do now is I want to do a running total in or year to date. So how can we do that? Let's get the sales, okay? Let's get the sales, okay? You may have a different view. You can actually change the view from this here. People saying, hey, I don't have that view. What's wrong? What have you done, John? You can actually change it from in there, okay? I actually like this better, so I was a little bit thrown off. Sales, you can put sales as many times into the values area, okay? it shows it again, okay? So what you can do here, a running total in or year to date, okay? So I'm gonna go value field settings, but before that, I'm just gonna do the quick number formatting. There is, okay, so that's it there, okay? So let me click on there again, value field settings. You can see this. It's got two tabs, summarize values by, some count, average, maximum. We want show values as. Now, it says at the moment, no calculation, but do the drop down. And if you go here, running total in, click that, okay? So we want the running total in with the order date, okay? Press OK and see what's happened. It's added the 200,000, it's here, and then it's added 200,365. We're using the metrics again from before, 573. Is it correct? Yes, it is. So it's a running total in or year to date. Let's change this here. You can actually go then press year to date if you want. Done. So you've got it there. I like to put it in the middle. Okay, so you see there, it's changed to year to date. So you can do so many cool things. Like in the academy, look at some academy students here. In the academy online course that I have a pivot table course in there that has 200 different tutorials of how to use pivot tables. It was actually my first course that I created, the Extreme Pivot Table course back in 2015. And you can do so many things with pivot tables. That's just another webinar in itself, another course in itself, but you can do this. This is great, isn't it? How about if we get customers and put in the filters area? So we have all these customers here, but I want to show these customers, each customer into its own tab. How do you do that? Any question, any answers there? What you can do, go to Pivot Table Analyze. And again, you probably have here Pivot Table Tools. Okay, this is the newest version. In the older version, Tools or Options. Yeah, you probably have Options there and Design. They change it every year. So click on there anyway. Don't click on Design, click on the other one. And on the far left-hand side, we have Options. Okay, and we'll click here, Show Report Filter Pages. Now, because I put in the customer in the filters, it's giving me that option. If I put in the region, I have to select what I want to show. So it's already selected customers. I want to press OK and have a look. Put your eyes down here next to where the worksheets are. What's going to happen when I press this? Okay, let me scroll to the right. It's added. Have a look at this. It's added the individual customers with their totals, quarterly and year to date, in their own tab. How cool is that? Now, that is great, isn't it? People saying, how do you do that? Yeah, you actually can do that with pivot tables. Why do I know this? Because I'm a pivot table nerd. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on 1, 2, 3 with the first one and go all the way there, widget corp. I'm going to hold down the shift key and highlight it. So now it's grouped. You can see it's grouped there. Okay. So anything I do here, you know, I can make this bigger, bold, make it bigger. It's going to update all the grouped sheets. Let's ungroup it. Right click and ungroup. You see that? Ungroup. So as you can see that, the same thing has happened to everything. So that's like another bonus tip because I like you guys. So that is it there. How cool is that? You can actually do this and then you can, you know, save it as a PDF and send it to your boss and see the stats for each of your customers or each of your salesperson or your employees, whatever you decide to put in your data. We put this in here, okay? So there's so many things you can do here. So that is it, 10 tips in 30 minutes. There's so many more tips. I hope you like this.